once again to another episode of Udom. Everything we do is magic. Here we try to rend the veil, so to speak, between what we perceive as reality and what actual reality is. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about spellcasting. A couple of weeks back, I posted a video on sigils and servitors and talked about how they're actually thought beings and our thoughts are actually sigils and our thoughts are actually servitors. Well, now I want to go to one of my favorite grimoires, the Bible, and this is the actually the Hebrew portion of it, the Old Testament, as the Christians like to say, and quote a spell to you, or I should say some information on a spell. It's from the book of Isaiah, and it says, "So shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." And every time the "it" is the words that go forth out of your mouth. And this is explicitly talking about casting spells. Now, in my meditative practice, I've talked often of the concept of whose idea is that. As the thoughts come up, you question them. Whose idea is that? Where did that idea originate? Did that idea come from me, or was it put upon me? And that's a powerful tool, because you begin to sift through those thoughts that are transmitted from outside sources and with emotional attachment, and those thoughts that are actually arise from our inner being, our true self. And so it is with our words. The Christian grimoire again talks about how good water and bad water can't flow from the same fount. Now, what kind of spells have you been casting the moment you say, "I'm so stupid"? How many times have some of you said that? "I'm so stupid. I'm such a failure. I'm such a loser." This, that, all of those words have a powerful, powerful, powerful effect. And the difference between thoughts and words is that thoughts carry a lower vibrational frequency, so that the thoughts are a lot easier to rein in. But when you begin to speak words, you step up in the vibrational, so to speak, the vibrational hierarchy. You're on a higher vibrational thing. You're actually creating. And scientists have shown that your words spoken over water, can change the molecular structure of the water, whether the words are positive or negative. And if water, which we are, the physicality of us is 98% water or something like that. We're mostly water, mostly air actually, but that water within us responds to those words. That's why it's important that you guard your words. It's an old adage that I've heard many times, that the reason we have two ears and one mouth is so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Surely you don't mean those innocent little things we say. That's exactly what I mean. The Christian grimoire also talks about how the angels look upon man in wonder. And I've talked about this before. The reason they look at us in wonder is because we possess the entirety of the divine within us, and our words carry that same authority. This is what the book of Isaiah is talking about. That because this is in this passage is supposed to be Creator speaking, but he's speaking through the voice of Isaiah. So Isaiah is saying, so shall the word be that goes out of my mouth. So we have to guard, just like we have to guard those thoughts, we have to guard the words. Now, a little bit of background on this. Just like we talked about ideas and thoughts, all energy is never ending. It is always perpetually moving. Light, the universe is expanding constantly because of the energy of creation that was placed into it. And because we, as little bits of the hologram, as little gods, as little pieces of God that represent the entire Godhead, that represent the entirety of creation, that represent the entirety of source. We have that same ability. And so our words and our thoughts carry forth that same eternal structure. The power of words is absolutely incredible. Again, because words, our spoken words, we're creating a vibration that enters into our vibrational field and actually causes molecular change. You've heard me, I just said that, talking about the water, speaking blessings over water or speaking curses over water. That's the whole concept behind crystals. It's the whole concept behind almost everything that we use in our magic practice is a vessel to hold those vibrations. And so we hold the vibrations of the words that have spoken over us. I've told you the story before of my father, how my father almost talked me to death, literally. Sugar was on a bale and I licked it, stuck it in my tongue. I was 9 years old. And he said, "Oh, don't do that, it's rat poison. Soon your throat will tighten, your mouth will dry, you'll begin to get a headache." And all those things happen and he saw me physically becoming ill, and he had to say, "Wait, I was only kidding." And so I ejected that from that vibrational field and began to get well again. So that is what I want to talk to you about how do we eject those poison words from our vibrational field. It's all about perception. And in order to eject and stop those curses we've spoken over ourselves, we have to change our perspective. So let's take, for instance, my example. I had to change the vibrational field of fear and had to change the strength of those words from fear and death to life. Where now it's like my father's just teasing me. I can receive his love. I can change my perception of that. Now I realize it wasn't truth. It was a cruel, albeit but cruel, but joke. It was a joke, not true. And so it is with ourselves. Let's say you've got a situation where you view yourself, you don't like the way your body looks. And you have constantly spoken these curses over yourself. I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too tall, I'm too short. So your perspective is coming from that negative standpoint. Well, to change that, you just simply change the words that you're speaking and the way that you're speaking them. And to, I'm perfect in all that I am. I'm perfectly happy with the way that I am, and I'm good with the way that I am. My body looks exactly as I want it to look. Now, what happens with that? Those words begin to change your perspective, which changes your physicality. See, we keep wanting to view everything from the outside in. That's what this world tries to teach us, that be real. But you got to ground yourself. You've got to, you can't dream those dreams. You can't say those things. You can't do those things. But there is a meme that I've seen that shows that we only perceive with our senses about 1/900 millionth or something like that of the actual vibrational frequencies and fields that are that sight, that sound, that smell, that's even like an electrical pulse. There's only a certain parameter that we can physically, our antenna can physically feel. Now we can expand that, but we're pretty much locked in to that. So that means that there's billions and billions and billions of other frequencies. And so when we begin to operate with speaking in a positive way to ourselves, we begin to pull in those frequencies. We begin to pull those frequencies into our vibrational field. We begin to change the very molecular structure of ourselves. We can change everything about our lives just by speaking differently and allowing that vibration to change our perspective. Again, it's not seeing is believing, it's believing is seeing. You will see, you will perceive, you will feel, you will taste, you will experience exactly what your perception tells you you are experiencing. It's time that we take control of our thoughts. It's time that we take control of our words. The tongue, it's a vile thing. It can be a fire, or it can be a salve, not only for others, but for ourselves. My challenge to you in this week is not, as you continue to guard your thoughts, as you continue to do the meditative practice of whose thought is that, you guard your tongue. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You can choose whether you speak curses or blessings, not only over others, not only over situations, but over yourself. I speak blessings over you. You're loved, you're wanted, you're desired. You are the beloved. You are the all. And I need for you to become the all, that perspective, that segment of the all. I need for that, every one of you, and you need for me to do the same thing so that we can complete the picture. Namaste.